Horny and Afraid. So, anyway, this past weekend, right? I was scrolling. I was scrolling everything: YouTube Shorts, TikToks, Pornhub. That is a joke. Who even uses Pornhub anymore? Following a mindless scrolling session, I stop and I say to myself, when was the last time I sat down and watched a movie from beginning to end, no interruptions? And the answer to that is before I rotted my brain. It's been a year. It's been a fucking brutal year. I forgot I had a Prime account. I don't even remember paying for one, if I'm being completely honest. And I say to myself, okay, fuck it. The first horror movie I see on my Prime account as I'm scrolling through it, that's the first one I'm going to watch. I am an asshole. I don't know when it happened, but when did I become such a fucking movie slob? I grew up during the golden age of horror. I have watched movies with practically no budget and have enjoyed myself. And I have let shit movie experiences turn me away from my genuine love of cinema. I came across a movie called Pretty Lethal. Maddie Ziegler, I believe she plays Bones. Landa Condor, she plays Princess. She acted, and I'm pretty sure she acted in a movie called To All the Boys I Have Ever Loved. And I'll be honest, for the first 5 minutes of Pretty Lethal, I was tempted to watch that movie because I thought Pretty Lethal sucked ass. I'm glad I stuck through it though. And then you have this Telugu American actress Avantika. She plays Grace. I have no idea who the rest of the characters are or the rest of the actresses are, but we will get to that a little later. I just saw the movie. You see the cover of the movie on Prime before you can actually play the movie. And I thought Bones was fucking hot, and I said, yeah, fuck it. Let's watch the movie. And I entered it with so much of bias. If I were to say that a movie revolves around a group of Americans getting lost somewhere in Europe, you would think of the brutal horror movie Hostel, which is a brutal, gory, and a lot of fun to watch. Bias, bias, bias. I'm glad I stuck to the movie. I have very little bad to say about the movie now that I finished watching it. What the movie sets out to do in terms of character arcs, plot development, minor scares here and there, it does really well. Obviously, I'm not going to get into major spoilers. I will talk in a very general sense, but bear in mind that it's going to be my rating of the movie, so I do have to provide some justifications. Let's talk about the plot. A ballet troupe of hot women travel to Europe to take part in a dance competition. Oh no, their bus breaks down. Now the group consisting of the dancers and their troop leader have to make their way to a remote inn to seek shelter and hopefully call for emergency help. Shit hits the fan. What happens? Well, watch the fucking movie to find out. Here's the reality. If you have ever watched a gory action movie, not horror movie, an action movie that has gore and blood in it, then Pretty Lethal is not going to scare you. With that being said, the movie is a ton of light-hearted fun. All of the characters play their role incredibly well. When Princess is on the screen, being incredibly annoying, you hate her, and that just shows how well she embodies the character that she is playing. And this is true practically of every single other actress in the movie. I think the movie averts expectations. The display of violence and gore is far more visceral than you would expect, especially given the very weak and boring introduction of the movie, that being the first 5 minutes or so. And then you have to talk about the choreography of both the dance and the fight scenes, which are done incredibly well. And I really enjoyed how the movie took advantage of the background of the characters. the main cast of characters in the movie are professional ballet dancers. We can put it best way I can put it is their skills are put to good use. There were a few things that I didn't particularly enjoy or understand. For example, at the end of the movie, I questioned to myself as to why they included a deaf character. I couldn't see her serving any particular purpose in the movie. You didn't have that typical character arc, excuse me, the typical character arc of having a character who may be deaf or blind or just something out of the norm, and you use them as your weak point. That wasn't the case in this movie, so I didn't understand why that was happening or why it was included. And after a short Google search, I realized that the actress Millicent Simmons, I think um, she acted in the movie with the aliens that respond to sound. I'm forgetting what it's called. I'm gonna say Get Out, but I know that's incorrect. But anyway, so the actress Millicent Simmons, she is actually deaf, and I thought that was really cool. So the character, I assume, is actually based on her in reality, and it would be amazing if they altered the character for her. That was just a random thought that I had, and I figured I should share it. All right, so back to the movie. Uma motherfucking Thurman. Is that the bride? Is that the bride? I asked myself as her character was introduced. Her character arc is nice. It's just good feelings. Now listen, we have to keep this movie a buck. It can be silly at times. You do have to suspend belief and understand that it's not a serious movie. Grown men who are armed are not going to be defeated by a ballet troupe. Women weighing like what? 30, 40 kilos. Highly doubtable, but it happened, and I guess you just have to sit back and relax and realize you're watching a very easy horror action movie. I think that's the best way to phrase it. Um, I'm not sure why, but there has been a major lack of what I like to call badass women in art. I'm referring to movies, series, and games. This movie did an incredible job with its characters. The main cast are all women, and the lead up to the end of the movie also revolves around the story of a different powerful female character. And I think that was actually really cool. If we talk about powerful female characters, especially in horror movies, you have um, Santanico. I think she's from Dusk Till Dawn, if I remember correctly. You have B from Babysitter, Alice from the Resident Evil movie series. I don't think there's an Alice in the Resident Evil games. Melania from Elden Ring, and now you have Bones, Princess, Avantika coming from Telugu cinema. That is very impressive. If you tell me a movie has cool women characters, I will watch it. I don't care if it's a shit movie, I'll just watch it. The movie is fun, it's gory, it's funny at times, and the best thing I think is that it's straightforward, which I really appreciate. I don't want to convince myself to watch an analog horror and then tell myself it's good. Skinamarink sucks ass. I want to watch a movie that's simple, that's straightforward, and can be light-hearted fun. In summation, the movie is worth the watch, and as for the negatives, whatever it is, I would just say disregard it. It's a very light-hearted introduction to a horror movie. If you're in your early teens, maybe your early 20s, or you're just someone who hasn't experienced horror before, this would be a good movie to start off with. It's very, very simple, it's not that scary, and very enjoyable as well. Alright, so let's give it a horror score. A horror score based on the scale of a movie like Babysitter, right? Babysitter, you have this really hot actress. The movie's not scary and it's light-hearted fun. I would have to score it 3 Bs out of 5, which is actually really good. And as I said just a few moments before, you should definitely give it a watch.